right, welcome everybody to this short little clip that we have from our Darkside Crew show. Today, we're going to be just sharing a short little clip from our show back in September where we went over a list that JJ put together for us that covers the High Republic first appearance list in the comics so far. We plan on doing a follow-up to that this Sunday live on the Darkside show, so make sure that you check it out there. And we're going to follow up on this list. But if you want to see the first part of the list, we felt like now's a good time for us to share it out there because people were asking about it, and figure it's easier just to put it out there so you guys can, check it out. Having a lot of fun doing this. A lot of copies seem to be moving of High Republic 1 today. I don't know if it's related to the Disney announcements we are getting very, very soon, but rumors are abound. So let's see where this all leads us. But again, you want to check out this first appearance list, just hang on for a few seconds after the intro. We'll be right back with it. But we also do have our Star Wars Darkside merch. If you are interested, you can check the links down on the video below. And while I still haven't gotten my shirts yet, I did get my magnet here that I can put on my filing cabinet right here behind me. I can just drop that back there, my Darkside magnet, as well as my Darkside Crew pin, which I will add to my trusty comic book hunting bag. So as you can see, got my Rennavision badge on there. I'll put the Darkside on here too. And yeah, that's my comic hunting bag. So if you see that bag out, it shows that's me. That all being said, hopefully you like the content we're providing you guys, and you're enjoying all the shows that we put out there. If you are, let us know in the comments. Please like, subscribe, hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. We're having a lot of fun doing this. Again, join us live every Sunday, only here on Rennavision for the Star Wars show, and join Marco and I on Wednesdays for our tax show. Both chats are lively, and they are the lifeblood of the show, so come join the fun, and yeah, let's just have fun talking comics and Star Wars, guys. And with that, I leave you guys to check out the clips of the Star Wars High Republic first appearances. Later.
Go ahead and tell us how you made this.
So rules real quick. Sorry, that kind of fades into the background. I just noticed that. Basically, we're going over. I tried to do just Jedi characters because everyone takes forever if you go through every single character.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So there are some labeled as bonus. So there'll be some in the same books that were not Jedi characters that I included because there could be important first appearances. And then the very minor characters I left off, and then any like ensemble or pictured characters in an ensemble that I couldn't identify because there's a lot, especially in the first couple issues of these, where they take a picture of like all the Jedis and any background characters. I also left off because you can't clearly identify them, and we'll get into that as we go along.
Some of them changed too.
Yeah,
there's one that you put up there
depending on the artist.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
and then
too. Yeah. Go ahead.
So here's a lawyer statement, is to say that basically it's my opinion of kind of what first appearances are and when. So if you feel like I missed anything or if there's somebody important I left out, just let us know in the comments.
Yep, just tell Marco.
Yep. Send Marco your hate mail.
Yeah, I'll file that where I filed the rest of it because I gave him specific directions on what to do. So if you have a problem with how he did it, you can take it out on me and we'll file that under.
As long as the words Kylo Ren issue 3 do not come out.
Jeez.
Dwayne Scott wants the Sith characters from here. Well, it's High Republic, so there are. But the one that was in here, I did include, just so you know.
Yeah. Sorry, Dwayne. All right, go ahead. Let's go. Flick it down.
There we go. Wait for you guys.
So High Republic number 1, we got Kiva Trinis, obviously, and Skier, kind of the two main characters. Avar Chris, obviously, so I included her. She does have a prior kind of cameo appearance to this where she shows up in a hologram.
Jedi's mad.
Bye, Jedi. Yeah. Good seeing you.
Yeah. So I included her in this because it's definitely a first full, and there's no arguing that. And yeah, and her name's not mentioned in the hologram and anything, and basically the artist had to confirm it. And then I'm including it on this one. And then you got Estella Maru, who's the what's his title? I want to say administrator. That's not right.
That's kind of what he is.
Is that him? Yeah, but basically he's like the Martian Manhunter controlling the tower kind of role. So, but fairly important Jedi, and he shows up in here too. So.
Okay.
And next slide. So here you got the 1 in 10 cover. So these were the two incentives. The one that Jedi just showed you earlier, and then also important on that
not pre Ruben. Go ahead.
Important on that is Lorna D has a cover appearance here. It's her first appearance at all. So there she is. Then you have Praetor Vitor. who I don't know if I said that right, but basically he's a Jedi Master who is about on Yoda's level. He's kind of introduced with Yoda as being two super important council members. So I included him on here. He may never show up again, but he is there. And then Stellan Geos is kind of sort of there. He's at the very end.
It might be him, but he never looks like that again.
So, and the only reason I included this with the question mark is because if you look at like a CBCS or a CGC label for this, for some reason they list both Stellan Geos and they also list Vernestra Rowe, who I could not find Vernestra Rowe in this book. I looked over like 40 times.
Yeah,
couldn't find her.
No.
So, yeah, I don't know. Our other bonus
put in the comment. So.
Yeah. Our other bonus character is Lena So, who is the Chancellor of the Republic.
And her cat dogs are there. That's the only reason you know it's her.
Yep.
Cat dogs.
You know what? Out of those covers, if you could. I remember when we first saw it, the first cover of the Sway looked terrible because they only gave you the preview. These two, I think, are the two winners of this because those characters, we were right on. I mean, we were right on the 1 in 10. But I don't think we gave credit to how big we've kind of changed the corner after the first couple reading it. But like, if you go back to the other ones, like Yoda hardly ever shows up.
Yeah.
Ava Chris is not the. She's
Yoda literally disappears. Like nobody knows where he is.
Yeah. So I don't know, man.
Or whatever.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, next up, what do we got?
Next slide on number 2. So I got the A cover and you got the 1 in 25. By the way, also for this list, I didn't include it in the rules, but no, I didn't put a lot of store variant covers on there. Store
variants, I got you.
Yeah. I kind of tried to avoid those with the exception of 1 or 2. So just so everybody knows, just because it would have taken forever. So you got, is it Sarat and Tarek? So they're the twins. Yeah. And then this is
Tomax and Zaymot is what it is.
Yeah. The albinos are they the same species as the Inquisitor?
Well, I mean, they even did the reverse name thing as Tomax and Zaymot.
Yeah. So the names are anagrams. Or is that anagrams? Anyways, Vernestra Rowe does actually show up in this comic,
and they name her. Don't they name her too?
Yep.
So that's the first.
She's called Jedi Rowe. So
just because I rejected working at those companies doesn't mean I can't identify what a first appearance is. All right.
Is anybody else confused about the row?
About what row?
Because when I listen to the novels, it kind of confused me.
Audio listening.
Yep, with her being Row and then Marsha and Row.
I've listened to my first audiobook of the High Republic, and we'll give an opinion on what I thought of it.
In a few.
Yeah. So, all right, what's up next?
They are not related, correct?
No.
Thank you.
Nope. Spelled differently and all. Number 3. Not many first appearances here. You got the 1 in 25 and the cover A on there. But Amitri Kantaros, who is the Padawan of Vernestra Rowe, is about the only Jedi appearance in this thing. So
yeah, he's got some special power where he can. What is his special power again?
I guess you would say it's empathy.
Yeah, he's empathy.
Yeah, he's a Force empathy user. So basically, the feelings of other Force users literally affect him, like physically.
Yeah,
so he's
interesting. They've really gotten into like.
Yes.
Originally, they had like Ava, or what's her name? Yeah, Chris was supposed to have some superpower that they were going to get into, and they got away from that. But with Roe and him, they gave him actually pretty interesting powers. And Roe's power has a lot to do with the Skywalkers. Skywalkers, not the Skywalker family, but the Skywalkers of the Shiss. Yeah. So think what's his name? Blue guy.
Thrawn.
Thrawn.
The only power or unique power that they mention for Ava or for Chris anymore is she can hear people's Force song when they approach.
Stupidest shit ever. All right, what's up next?
She can rock a tiara.
It's true. Next is number 4. Got the cover A again. I picked the 1 in 25 also. So Oberlin, who shows up in here, totally reminds me of the guy from Hellboy 2.
Yeah, Hellboy 2.
I want him to be a toy because I want to see if he can pop the top that he squeezes out like goo, like the 90s gloop or whatever.
He is. I forget his exact title. He's kind of like the librarian of Starlight Beacon. And then you have Reese Silas. Super small cameo Reese Silas appearance in here. It's actually in a Vision. I think.
I would call this a cameo, but no doubt it's a cameo. And
it's
another Jedi next to them that they don't know who it is because know who it is.
Yeah, and I think it's well, this is definitely him because they explain it story wise, but they don't name him, so it's kind of a tough cameo. But And you have Maraga, who we just saw at the end of the last issue. The Hutt, this is her first appearance. So decked out and ready to duel the Dringir.
I believe Oberlin is the curator, by the way. I think that's the word you were looking for.
Curator, yes,
There you
thank
go.
you.
I think he's also in charge of the carpool because he didn't want to give Vern a ship that one time.
Yeah, that's true.
No, that's not him. That's a different.
Is that him or Maru?
No, it's different. A completely different. It's this
Completely
being that
different.
ends up
There's another
floating on
one?
top of. Yeah, it's like a spider type being that screams. Yeah, that's a whole different.
Oh, I thought I
character.
said it was another one of those slimy guys.
No, different one. He changes like a chameleon, and he
never
can
mind.
be outside of his power suit. Yeah, no, the suit stabilizes him. But
Good question, Jedi, because I was right there with you, man.
No,
I
we're
thought
good.
the same thing.
we're good. That's why I'm here, not just to look pretty. All
Number
right, what's
5.
up next?
Oh, I'm sorry, no number 5. I skipped number
Number
5 because
6.
there were no first appearances in it. So number 6. You got the cover A. You got the 1 in 25 Momoko, which I don't know, the weird kind of pooping gold cover.
Yeah, the pooping gold is kind of interesting.
And
Marco's-
this
Marco's
one you did have
favorite.
the Pride Month variant, which was a good cover of the twins. So,
Mhm.
so Stellan Geos shows up again, this time in a hologram, not a flashback, but he's named and everything. You know, it's definitely him. So I included that one, and then you have the Great Progenitor, which is kind of like the hive mind of the Dringir. He showed up. He is my bonus appearance for this one. So.
Nice, good job.
Hmm.
I like that. That was a good bonus.
Number 7, you got. This was kind of
The
an
worst
important one.
possible fucking covers for such
Yeah.
an important book.
Yeah. So, and I did throw in the action figure variant and that height variant. That's the 1 in 25. Looks terrible. But yeah, it's 2 definitely important people show up. Or one is Orla Jahani, or Jarani, sorry.
Love her.
And then-
She's great.
Yeah. Velko Jahan, I don't know if you would say super important, but she does show up in actually 3 of the novels, believe it or not. So they may, and she shows up in a couple of other comics, but she's one of the administrators on Starlight Beacon. And then you have Darth Krall, who is the only Sith we see so far in the High Republic.
And
Up.
he's not. We don't know if he's from the High Republic or if
Yeah,
he's just.
he shows up in a
manifestation.
vision, so it's hard to say if he's from that time or prior to that time, and seems to kind of be related to Kiwi's vision of the Dringir. But
He also kind of answers the question of what Arseface from Preacher would look like if he had teeth.
yeah, if he was a Sith,
Which, by the way, which means that. So let's explain that real quickly. If he showed up from the vision of the Dringir, he could have been one of the original Siths that put those temple things down to close it. Which means they won't probably be taking place in the High Republic, which is kind of disappointing. Okay, but go ahead.
but Sith have also been resurrected, so who knows?
Yeah,
Just saying.
who knows? Yep.
All right. Next slide. This is the second half of number 7. So this was the one time I did include store variants because the 2 characters were on the covers. So you got the Mayhew exclusive variant and the Tarini exclusive variant, which I think was Unknown Comics. And then you got the second printing, which the second pringing shows an interesting thing, which is what Marco just mentioned, is the Sith binding statues. Yeah, which were the statues kind of that the Sith used to kind of control the Dringir.
So I wonder if that's what Creel was one of the Sith. As well.
Yeah, it's hard to say. It looks like it from this comic, but we don't know that much about Krall. But and then another interesting thing was an image of the Prime Jedi, who we've never seen before. So the Prime Jedi, to quickly explain, is basically the first and considered founding member of the Jedi Order. So there's an image in here, and I kind of flipped it so you could see it better. But there's an image where there's the mosaic of him or her. I don't even know which species, but on the floor there, and Kiwi's meditating in front of it. So first time you see an image of them in comics. So just included as a bonus.
Jedi.
Yeah.
So I think they're getting away from that portion, and this is what they're going to use instead. So all those people that are collecting those Jedi.
Yeah. That's probably what you'll see if they go forward in canon of like the origin of Jedi.
How the origins started. Yeah. All right. What's up next?
Number 8. Oh, I forgot to change the title, but it's number 8. Sorry about that, folks. So basically, you got cover A, and you got the Anedito, I think is how you say his name, cover, and the 1 in 25, and then so you got an actual appearance of Rhys Silas in this one, where you can clearly see his face, and he's identified as Rhys Silas, and then kind of important is Rhys Silas's current master, Comac Vetus. So.
I didn't think until the last couple of novels and comics, I didn't think he was going to be that important, but he seems to be stepping up.
He has shown up a lot in the novels.
These back-end characters seem to be coming up a lot more than they used to. So.
Yeah,
he sounds a lot older in the audiobooks than he looks in this picture.
Yeah.
What's going on, Dom?
Yeah, they kind of made him look young. I think he's kind of supposed to be like a Qui-Gon Jinn type character where he's old, but he doesn't look that old.
I gotcha.
But
all right, next.
So number 9. We just went over this a little bit, so I'll make it quick. But you had the cover A, you had the not Liefeld variant, and then the 1 in 25 U variant.
Wait a minute. There's not a lot of pockets and they can draw feet. Oh, that must be not a Liefeld cover.
No pouches, and you see feet pretty clearly.
Yeah.
But
I hope that sticks forever and ever. I hope that everyone refers to that cover as
if you want to really
variant.
listen, if you really want to troll him, be like, send him a picture that go like, "Hey, did you draw this art?" Just like randomly. I mean, if you're not blocked yet, which you're probably blocked because anybody with any
on
case
YouTube
is blocked
and Instagram.
from YouTube and Instagram. Right?
Yep. All right, so I'm not even going to try to say Norakana. Okay, I'm going to say Norakana Cabana Karana.
Una fanuna banca.
Oh, real quickly though, do you know
Hawaii.
this? That if you criticize Rob, his mom will call you and yell at you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's I don't care. That's still squanchy the rest of the way.
That's a good mom.
The Squanch Jedi.
Squanch.
Whereas she shows up. Oh, we lost it.
Sorry.
You're right. And you got so this is the first image we see inside a comic of Lorna D, which is basically still just a hologram. But she is identified as Lorna D, so we know that much. And then you have
when I was looking through your slides, JJ, I found that like the most surprising. And then of course I thought back and I'm like, dang, he's right. Lorna D, other than that first cover appearance, she has not really had an actual appearance in these comics yet.
2 covers appearance prior to this. You got the first one, and then you got the one in comics for 3, and then nothing.
Which is weird for how big of a character she is.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, we're like what 8 and 9, and if you include the High Republic adventures, we're like what 8 and 9 or something like that issues in now.
Yeah, just the
I
nice.
don't see a ton of the eye either, really. In the comics.
Well, you do in the
adventures, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they've been so focused on the Dringir in the Marvel run, so I don't know. But thankfully, that hopefully is done. So, but you do have another small appearance. Yeah, Gal Tarpafin. And I only include them because we just listened to the audiobook, and she does have a section in the audiobook. But she's the chief of security for Starlight Beacon, Mon Calamari. And then you got Zetar, who we just talked a little bit about earlier, showing up. But he is one of the Tempest runners for the Nihil.
Zetar.
There you are.
Yep. All right, on to our next one. So now we're going to start the IDW ones. So here we got High Republic Adventures #1. This one was pretty jam-packed, so I tried to fit it all on one slide. But you fits. Yeah, you got the cover A, and then you got the pretty cool Yoda 1 in 10, in my opinion. And then so you got Lola Talasola, who is probably, I guess you would say, it's hard to say protagonist because you got Zine and Crix in there, but the protagonist Jedi maybe of Adventures. And then you got Bibbs, who I don't know if we ever see again after this, maybe in 1 or 2 issues.
He's in the background a lot.
He is a lot. Yeah, he is a Jedi, so I included him. You see Farzala a lot going forward in these comics. This is his first appearance. And Court, also his first appearance. And those are kind of known as the Starhopper Padawans. So you'll see that a lot when you read like previews and stuff. It'll say Starhopper Padawans. Those are these guys at the top here.
Clint Howard.
It does look like Clint Howard.
Now that he said it, I can't unsee it.
Yeah. And then you got Buckets of Blood, Torben Buck.
Buckets of Blood.
Yeah, he's awesome. But yeah, he shows up in this one, first appearance. And Zine Marla shows up. And then you also have Crix, who he's our bonus appearance. So technically Zine is not a Jedi at this point either. She's just a Force user, but she becomes a Jedi. So I just include her. But Crix not a Jedi. But he's our bonus appearance because he's kind of important going forward. For the Nihil, at least.
Definitely worth
mentioning. Does become a Jedi?
She's a Padawan.
Yeah, Padawan. Yep. They say that they're going to train her in the order after some debate. But yes. At first they say she's too old, and they're like, no.
I was still thinking that they were going to train her, but she would never assume the title of Jedi.
Maybe. I don't know. Well, now that you say it, I don't know if they ever call her a Jedi. But I don't know. I assume when you're training somebody under the Force as a Jedi, they're going to be a Jedi, but maybe
That's in the bylaws. You can't know.
Too old.
You're a little too deep in a kid's book.
Yeah. So, anyways, cover A for #2, and then we got the 1 in 10, which is Buckets of Blood riding in his Corvette,
swinging his lightsaber at the same time.
There's really no Jedi first appearances of this, but I couldn't skip over it because we have a super important appearance of the Eye of the Nile, Marchand Rowe. So I just couldn't skip over it. Had to include it. Yeah. It's technically the only real appearance in this book that's important, but had to include it. So next slide. Number 3. So again, not much in this issue. You got a cover A, you got a 1 in 10, and Jedi Master, who looking at him, he looks like he's 12 years old. But Jedi Master Cantam Sai is in this one, and he shows up a few more times in the comics. But he is a Jedi first appearance.
Arguably forgettable.
Yep, completely kind of a back character.
Like the Wolverine scruff on the side there, don't they?
But
that was the art style too.
Yeah, and he does help run the Starlight Beacon. I don't know exactly what his title is, like an administrator or anything, but he is often there, like in meetings on the Beacon. But yeah,
gonna die soon.
Die soon.
Hey. Okay. Number 6. This is a loaded one again. So you got number 6. You got the cover A, and you got the 1 in 10 variant. So we get the first kind of appearance of Tal Bota, who also shows up in the next book, but we may never see him again. He seems like kind of a cool character, but I don't know if we'll ever explore that. And you got Is it Obertuck?
Yeah.
Flea? Obertuck is the
Obertuck?
Yep. Yeah. So this is the first time you see him. He's the Jedi Master of Farzala. He might have to be the Master of Court. I don't know if he has 2 Padawans or 1. I couldn't quite figure that out from this thing because Court never seems to have a master. So those are the 2 main Jedis for this, and you have Ishtar. Ishtar's an interesting character in that I don't know if do we assume that I know that she doesn't join the Order necessarily, but she shows back up with the Jedi later in the comics.
She's like the Han Solo version.
She fights with the Republic type of deal, I guess. Mm-hmm. And speaking of people that fight with the Republic, first appearance of one of our favorite crews of the vessel. You got Leox Jossi, Affy Hollow, and fan favorite Geode. So those are all bonus appearances in this.
The cool thing about Obertuck or whatever is Tuck's name too is like he's the Grievous of, right? Like he sleeps and then he just Grievous arms out with lightsabers swirling.
Multiple lightsabers. Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Pretty cool.
I like his tooth hat that he's got going there.
Honestly, every character on here, this book, 6, these are all good characters. This is how they should write Star Wars. All these characters.
That Obertuck. One of the things I thought interesting. So he has multiple lightsabers, but he lives so long that those lightsabers all belong to his Padawans who have come and gone over the years, and he just keeps their lightsabers.
Yep.
Is that what it is?
Yep.
Oh, that's cool. Yep. Good job, Jedi.
To be like Batman collecting Robin masks.
He does. Geo does.
And he hibernates, and then apparently when he wakes up, he just like goes nuts and takes out like a whole bunch of people at one time.
Yeah.
My Padawan's dead again.
Yeah.
I go to sleep, Padawan's gone.
That's how he gets well. He wakes up and kills people.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Everybody's waiting for the break. Let's go.
All right. Number 7, 1 in 10, and a cover A again. A lot of first appearances. Well, 3 first appearances here of Ro Barakai, Joro Mali, and Loden Greystorm. All of which
Greystorm, by the way, time out. Greystorm does show up in the background scene of High Republic, but it would be a cameo. This would be a first. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
But so Loden Greystorm is Bell's master from the novels. But in current timeline, all 3 of these are deceased. They all die. So this is a flashback that see him in this. Nope. Dead. For sure dead.
Dead.
Like Loden was thought dead and then really dead. So
he was thought dead and they killed him.
So we got the free comic book day issue next. Really only one Jedi first appearance in here, which is Ram Jaram. Jamaram, I guess you could say. There are other characters that show up in here, which is his droids and the 2 little helpers. I think it's like Tip and Brebeck, which are like the little repair characters that work with him.
We agree that they did a good job on him as a character, yes, so far.
Yeah, so far. I haven't seen much. He was in people probably don't recognize him, but he was in 2 children's books.
Yeah. Junior novel and a kiddie book.
I gotcha.
And so next slide. So this is Monsters of Temple Peak. There was only one cover for this, but you do have a first appearance of kind of a cool character so far that we think, Ty York. And then you have York's old master Sababa. And then this could be an interesting character going forward if they keep him around. This is the only time we've seen him in comics, but he connects to the High Republic in like Cavan Scott book. It's Caius Terradine. So he was a Padawan that shows up in this book as a flashback, but he actually ends up getting kicked out of the Order at some point for a reason we're not exactly for sure of.
But we do know that we know it's important because he ties in to what's his name, the guy Dooku's buddy that ends up dying.
Yeah.
What's his name anyway?
Sifo Dyas.
Sifo Dyas.
There's
a connection between him and Sifo Dyas, so like kind of important.
Yep.
Anyway.
And then you also have Ty's faithful droid KL03, or just KL to her. So he does show up. So he's our bonus. I didn't label it bonus for some reason, but he's there.
Bonus. Yeah, I like Temple Peak too. It's kind of cool with what they're doing.
Yep.
All right.
Last one. We just saw this, so I'll make it quick, but you got a cover A and you had a 1 in 10 that came out. So the only Jedi first appearance in this is, I guess we'll go with Save Malagan. Who we see at the end defending the temple as the lone Jedi there, and apparently is one man army that just takes out a ship without a problem. So, yeah. So that was our first appearances. Like I said, if anybody disagrees or sees anything that I missed or anything, please let me know.
Corrections needed.
Yeah, corrections or anything like that. Let us know.